Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you very much for joining me on the very first project for Envelope Punchboard Week. This is going to be a week-long video fest of 7 projects coming out on my regular YouTube channel and a further 5 available via my blog that are using exclusively the brand new envelope punchboard that's come to the UK. There's going to be no other scoring equipment involved whatsoever, just using the envelope punchboard. So the first project is this sweet little box that I'm calling the miniature sewing box, because when I designed the box and I was building it up, it reminded me of my Nana's old sewing box because of the way I'd set it to fold it together. Now these little brads are really just for show, and that was kind of, they were a reminder, but that's how it opens up. Isn't that cute? And I very deliberately put happy birthday on it because an Australian demonstrator friend of mine is having a birthday this week. She won't tell me exactly what day, but it's this week. So happy birthday, Linda Shrimpton, Australian demonstrator. Anyway, I shall move on and make the project. It uses one piece of designer series paper that is 6 by 6 inches, which is 15 by 15 centimetres. I'm only going to give you imperial measurements, but that's just because all scoring tools come with this as predominant. The imperial measurements at the top. The metrics are there, they're underneath, they're sort of debossed into it, but we're just going to work with the very visible numbers that are at the top. I am actually going to make it this way with this colour outermost, but I've already had to reshoot this once because I can't see what on earth I'm doing, because the light is reflecting really badly, so I know that I can see on the paler green side. So lining the cardstock up to 1 3/4 inches, you punch and score, then you slide it along to 3 1/8 inch, punch and score, and then up to the 4 1/2 inch mark, punch and score. Now you don't need to worry at all about the measurements, and I'm going to do my very best to see. You know what, my lighting is, it must be brilliant for you, but it's hopeless for me. So I'm going to line that up, this score line here, punch and score down, and I'm going to line the next one up, and actually, you know what, if I put my shadow across it I know where I'm going. Punch and score down, and then line it up, punch and score down, and then turn it around, and you're just going to keep doing that, lining up your original score line with this little tick, punching and scoring, punch and score, and there's a lovely rhythm to this. Punch and score, and I haven't got any kind of, it hasn't hurt my hand at all. I have filmed all 12 projects today because I wanted to do them all in one go. I wanted to keep the same rhythm going, and bizarrely I'm actually doing the first project last. Don't ask me why, it's just how it went. So I want to round all these corners, and the corner rounder is built in. And if you haven't seen the basics of making an envelope, and I haven't got an envelope project at all in my 12 projects, pop over to my blog and find the original envelope punchboard blog post, and that will give you an example that Stampin' Up have done. Right, so I now want to have this lovely tangerine tango side on the outside, so I'm going against the grain here, but it doesn't matter. It's paper, it's Stampin' Up paper, it's good quality, it doesn't mind. So fold up all of the score lines, right, and then there are some bits that we need to remove. So as it folds up, we need to get, well, we've got wider triangles there than there. We need to get rid of the narrow ones on both sides. Whoops, so they're done for. I'm going to cut left and right of the wider ones. I'm going to cut both of those on both sides. And then we're going to cut that one and remove that triangle, and that one there as well. So we're removing larger, the smaller sort of, these slopey ones, we're getting rid of all of those. Because we don't need them at all. And the last one, oh no, that's the last one. Nearly forgot one there. Okay, just put my grit paper back. So all of those have gone. We're just going to build up the box now, very slightly. Actually, you know what, I'm going to pop the brads in first, I think. Where's my piercing mat? My little mini piercing mat. So I'm just going to pop the brads in. It's, like I say, these are just for decoration purposes more than anything. These are the vintage trinkets, and I want a couple of the tiny little buttons. There's buttons and there's little safety pins. And again, it was just sort of, you know, my thinking was, it was just like Nana's old sewing box. And like I say, they're not really, you know, they're too tiny to use as a way of opening and closing the box. There we go. Right, we can start sticking this together. So I want to put snail onto these little squares, which are how we're going to close the box up. And you just slide them into place. You fold up the sides, much like other boxes I've made. Fold them up and line them up. There we go. And then these bits fold down, and these ones, if you bend your outer triangles back a little bit, and you just hold them down together. Now I wanted to put a little handle in the top, so I used the Petite Curly label punch, and probably the best thing to do is cut yourself a little template so you can position it exactly where you want it, and then come in and punch over the top. So that's one, and I'm going to pop that one on as well. And again, it's just, like I say, it's just a template. It's just so that you know you're punching in the right place. And I'm going to hold this together, and I want to pop a couple of little holes. I found that if I put the ribbon at the top, it gaped at that angle, and I actually wanted it to be more like this. So the top is just for just to hold it closed. Sorry, it's just to give you an image of a kind of handle, but actually we're going to put the ribbon through lower down. And just there. And I've got around somewhere, oh, you have to put something inside it. These are my special sugar-free sweeties. So I'm going to pop those in there. And I've tied those with Tangerine Tango Baker's Twine, which is from the Tag a Bag bundle. I'm going to get this ribbon through. If I can. I can't see at all what I'm doing. I've got too much clutter on my desk. Tie it off in a bow or a knot. I'm just going to do a knot for speed. Trim off the edges. And then a little bit of stamping. So I've got some very vanilla cardstock. My voice is going completely, like I say, I have filmed 12 videos today, and I have been basically talking non-stop to myself. It's good conversation. I've got Happy Birthday from the Teeny Tiny Sentiments set, and obviously it has to be Happy Birthday. So I'm going to grab a word window and I'm going to position it so it's closer to the left or the right, depends on whether you're looking at it upside down like I am or not. Quickly sponge the edges. And then I want to have a tiny little flower. So, excuse me, that's using the Itty Bitty Punch pack. And that's the scallop flower. Just without trying to ink your fingers, sponge around the edges. I want to give it a bit of a dimension, so I'm just taking the back of my paper piercer and I'm squishing down, and that's just lifted up the edges slightly. I take a little pearl, pop it in the middle, and I grab my mini glue dots and I want to pop that on the back of that and then just put it on there, and then a couple of dimensional edges. I don't want to peel off at all. There we go. Just onto the back of the sentiment. Pop it on there. And that is my mini sewing box style box, the very first of our envelope punchboard projects. The others are going to vary in difficulty, they are going to vary in size, they're going to vary in length of video, but I hope you like this first one. I hope you're going to stick around for the rest of them, and like I say, do go and check out my blog because that will take you to where you can access the other 5 projects. And they are all so much fun. We've got a clutch bag going on, I've got bags, I've got an unusual box, I've got Christmas projects, I have got all sorts, and I've got something very special for soap makers as well. So anyway, there you go. I'm ending on my project today, and thank you very much for joining, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.